Hey guys, it's Natasha. Welcome to Natasha's Creations. So I'm trying out my new tripod that I got for Christmas and it's awesome. It also comes with this little clicker so I don't have to like press the button when I'm recording a video. So that's really cool. And my New Year's resolution is to focus more on like my creative pursuits, including this YouTube channel. So hopefully that works out and I don't give up after a few months. But I got all of the slideshows and compilations out of the way for the month, so now I can focus on actual like productions and real videos that I'm working on, including this one. So this video is all about ghost stories. I've been working at this really awesome place for the last 6 months and it is haunted. It's an old Victorian house across the street from a cemetery and it's got a long history. So it's definitely seen some stuff, and we've had mediums come in and say that the place is haunted. They say that there is a man who lives downstairs and a woman who lives upstairs. And the woman is apparently named Marguerite. That's all we know, officially. But we also have our own experiences. So, the first one I'm going to tell you happened before I started working there. And so downstairs there is like a big kitchen and a hallway that runs parallel to it, and then across the hallway is a bathroom, and down the hallway is the gift shop that kind of circles around through the dining room and into the foyer or like the lobby. And there's also a back door, but it's always locked, like you can't get in. You can only get in through the front door. So this one night, no one had come in, and we do work late sometimes. So two of my coworkers were there, and one of them was in the bathroom, the other one was in the kitchen, or bathroom and kitchen. And so the one who was in the kitchen said that she saw like the bottom pant leg of like a man walking down the hallway, but of course there was no one there. And so she kind of freaked out, and the one who was in the bathroom said that she saw like the shadow of someone walking by under the door at the same time. So that really freaked them out, and like they looked all over the house and there was no one there. And again, you can't get out, like you can't get in through the back door, so they would have seen someone walk in through the front door or walk out, because there's also a bell so you can also hear. And no one had come or left, so this mysterious man was obviously a ghost. But I personally think that this room upstairs is the real haunted one. So one of the things that we do in this place is mystery rooms, which are kind of like escape rooms, except instead of trying to escape from the room, you're trying to solve a mystery. And so we have 3 of them, and one of them on the second floor is the one that I really think is haunted. I've really had some experiences in that room, and the really weird part is that my experiences are kind of like horror movie-ish. Like they're not just like random occurrences like, oh, I might have seen like a shadow walk by. It's like this ghost is messing with me. So before I get into my experiences though, I do have another story. So before the place was open, I guess, when they were still building the mystery rooms, the owner had a carpenter come in and was building something in that haunted room upstairs, and he said that he saw like a woman walk by the door and walk down the stairs, and he thought that it was the owner, so he called after her, like asked her some kind of question, and there was no response. And then he went down the stairs, and at that moment the owner came in through the front door, and he was like, oh, where'd you go? I was trying to talk to you. And she was like, I just got here, what are you talking about? So that was really spooky. But so my experience now. So this happened on November 2nd, which is the Day of the Dead, and it was kind of a weird day because people kept coming in, and when people usually come in like randomly, they always want a tour. And so like I was giving a bunch of tours and everyone was asking if the place was haunted, which was really weird, but at the time I kind of brushed it off because, I mean, it was 2 days after Halloween and we are across the street from a cemetery. It's an old house. Of course people will like have that stuff on their minds. So that wasn't too weird. But then toward the end of the day, after everyone had left, one of my coworkers was upstairs putting that room back together, and she called me from the balcony and asked if I could come upstairs to help her. So I went upstairs and was like, what's up? And she basically said that she was trying to put this key away, and she had it in her hand, and then she turned around and it was gone, like it wasn't in her hand anymore. And so the key goes in a drawer. So we looked all over the top of the dresser, we looked in all the drawers, we went down and like looked on the floor, and it wasn't anywhere. And then we both got up from the floor and it was just sitting there on the dresser, like in plain sight. It's not like it was like tucked under anything or like stuck on something, like it was just there, and we both saw it like immediately. So that really freaked us out. And I honestly thought that she was messing with me, but that also doesn't make any sense, because how could she have gotten the key up there without me noticing when I was right there too? Yeah, so she had like a full panic attack, and at that moment someone had come in and wanted a tour, so I had to go downstairs and give her a tour while my coworker finished putting the room back together. But it gets worse. So the woman who came in asking for a tour, I walked around the whole first floor, and then we went upstairs, and right in front of that room, she goes, oh, is this place haunted? And we were like, oh my God, yes, like this, like you won't believe what we've experienced. Like we didn't tell her what happened, but my coworker did tell her the story about how one night she was there with a couple other people super late at night. I think it was like 2 a.m. for some reason, and they heard a woman's voice, and they had no idea where it came from. They don't know what it said, but like they all heard it. So that's all we told her, and she was like, yeah, I really think that this place is haunted by like a female spirit, like it feels like a really strong female presence. And we're like, yeah, like we totally believe that. And so I gave her the rest of the tour, and we're walking back down from the attic, and she just goes, oh, the keys. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean the key? Like I had a heart attack. And she was like, oh, the key's hanging on the wall there, like that's really cool. Which is like a super random thing to say, like no one's ever mentioned the keys. We just have like random like skeleton keys hanging on the wall on the staircase. So that was really freaky. And then she left, and our other coworker came in to set up for something that was going on that night, and we were leaving. And we like ran downstairs and like told her everything that just happened, and like she freaked out. And we were looking at like the history of the house, and there were 3 girls who lived there originally, so we thought like, oh, maybe it's like one of those spirits. But then I was in the library doing my log at the end of the day, and I realized that I forgot something on like the little table in the middle of the room. So I like looked up, and out of the corner of my eye I saw like this woman with like an old-timey like bun, whatever, like kind of like peeking out like into the doorway with like this like weird smile on her face, and I had another heart attack. And then I like actually like looked up like directly at it, and it was a plant that was in the hallway. So I thought, okay, I just imagined that, especially since I was like just looking at pictures of people who like used to live there. Maybe like I had that in my mind. But this like really freaked me out. Like that was just such a scary day. I went home like crying. Anyway, so I have another story from that same room. I was the one putting the room back together after I had just run a game. And there's this clue that like doesn't go in a box, like it's just kind of like tucked away somewhere, and all the clues are like laid out on the bed, because that's where we tell people to put them, so it's easier for us to like put them away too. And that was the first clue that I was like looking for, and it's about like this big, like it's not that small, not that big, but I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was like looking all over the bed, and it was nowhere to be found. So I gave up on that, and I went and put another clue away that goes on the mantle in the room. And as I was doing that, I heard a creak, and I looked over, and this door had swung shut. And the weird part about that is that this door is kind of loose, and it always swings open. No, sorry. It had swung open. It always swings shut. Like I always have to put like a chair in front of it to keep it open when I'm putting the room back together, because it always wants to close. But this time it opened, which was very weird. And so I went to shut it, and I turned back around and faced the bed, and the clue I was looking for was just sitting there in plain sight. And so I freaked out, put the room back together as quickly as I could, and like left. And also by that point I was kind of like, the ghost really just needs to stop because it's getting a little annoying. So nothing else has happened since then, but we did hire a couple new people, and one of them told me that this one night there was like a book club or something happening, and she came in, and the people in the book club, I guess, told her that they heard her upstairs in the attic, like walking around, like slamming doors, like being super loud and talking. And she was like, I haven't been in the attic, like I've been downstairs the whole time, like that wasn't me. And so they obviously freaked out, and she went upstairs to try to like see what was going on, like see if there was like someone upstairs. And I guess like the people in the group were like trying to stop her from going upstairs because they thought it was like some kind of evil spirit up there. But like this entire group like heard this, like it wasn't just one person's story. So that was really weird. And those are all my ghost stories. So now on to theories. So my first theory is that I don't think that the female ghost is named Marguerite. There was no one in the house who was named Marguerite before, and it just, I don't know, like something about like I don't believe that part. It was just some random medium who said that, so we don't really know for sure. And then there's the consumption theory. So this one day, one of my coworkers was like going through an encyclopedia to rip pages out for some craft, and it like tucked in the pages was this little newspaper clipping about St. Francis. And she freaked out because her friend was at that hospital, and I didn't think anything of it for a really long time. But one of the new girls who came in was telling us how St. Francis Hospital was really infamous because people died of consumption there. And so she thinks that the ghost might have died of consumption, and I think maybe she was like trying to tell my coworker like I died at this hospital. And another really weird thing about consumption is that we were doing a murder mystery party where we were all like different famous authors, and this one guy was Edgar Allan Poe. And in our story, his first wife or fiance had died mysteriously, and for some reason this guy, like when we were trying to plan the story, he just kept saying, oh, she died of consumption, she died of consumption. And it was like such a random thing because Edgar Allan Poe's lovers never died of consumption, as far as I know. So now I think maybe, I don't know, like the ghost put that in his head, and I think she's just been trying to tell us that that's what she died of. So yeah, those are my theories, and those are my ghost stories, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not really sure how to end it, so I'm just gonna end it right here. Thanks for watching, have a good day, and please subscribe and stay tuned for future videos. Bye.